you. Oh, we're all speaking a universal language, and that's a smile. That's pretty nifty. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to each of you for coming today, because we are sharing energies that we have had within us from the beginning, long before the Big Bang. We are all manifestations of starlight energy that has come together to share in this world's experience so that we can truly become light bearers to other planets in space and time who need the things that we are nurturing now in the lowest of lowest vibrations. We're bringing it up because we embody a higher vibration, and our consciousness has expanded to the point where we can truly share it in joy. We've all had a lot of energy bombarding us, and I've had a download and a half. And so they give me things to stand on when I'm up here, so I'll stay grounded. And I tell you, I'm having a little problem staying grounded this morning, but we'll see. Okay, we are all open heart centers. Everyone here today has an open heart center of love and compassion. And that was Aurelia's work here in the church. She was helping to open up our heart centers so that we could receive consciously and become consciously aware of the wonderful energies we embody. We are plastic, organic, living intelligence that is in form. We are a living collective of one another, the world, the universe, and the cosmos. We are individualized expression of this wonderful energy and power. We existed before our universe came into being. We each, every one of us, were stars that came in with a big bang. But before that, humanity, before the Big Bang and into this universal universe, we belong to other planets out in the cosmos, and each planet that we came from has a wonderful mastery of an energy that kept that planet in form, and that planet was associated with the love, light capacities of being in the heart. So before we ever came into this world, we got together, all of us light bearers, with love light in our hearts. And I don't say that we signed a contract, but we came into an agreement that when we came into this world as stars, we were taking on the obligation of going down into energies, starting out bright and going down into energies that are where we are today, which is really almost the lowest of low. And we are in a physical body, and we are to learn these loving energies and how to have them unfold in our lives so that we can help to raise the vibrational rate of this universe and the whole cosmos' awareness of what it is to be wise and to suffer the stupidity of collective mind that's at the lowest of the low. And that's what we're here together learning. Now, I want to tell you an experience that I had, because vibrational frequency is absolutely crucial. And there's a program on YouTube that's free with Greg Braden, and he talks about the university or the level of a frequency that we are moving in. They said they had monks come in from Tibet And someone said, well, they say this is the highest frequency. I mean, science says you can't go above this frequency. Can you? Yeah, I think we can. So they did. They measured, oh yeah. So they went up and up and up. And finally, Greg Braden said to them, can you go above that? And they said, yeah, we think we can. And do you know how they did it? Going beneath the lowest of the low. So that the whole circle, it vibrated. The lowest of the low vibrates with the highest of the high. And I had a spiritual experience a long ago time in my backyard when we were going to have guests for dinner. We were going to be outside. And my husband didn't help me with the yard. And I was out there, and I was so mad. I was so angry. And I picked up something and pitched it, and suddenly I was through with the anger. I was up in this beautiful state of peace and wholeness and kindness. So I went through the anger, and those vibration rates that I hit here in the anger were exactly the same as the highest ones they had discovered. So you and I, we have those frequencies in our bodies, and we're learning to use them. Now, each of us came from this mastered planet, and we have all that mastery of that skill in us. But because we are all plasma, and I'll tell you in a minute where that comes from, we are plasmic intelligence because we are one, and this plasmic intelligence is in all of us. What you know, I know, and what I know, you know. Can you see how we are expanding our cellular awareness in our physical bodies just by sharing today? It's wonderful. It's mind-boggling. Anyway, we know that the center of heart love energy has unlimited power to create and to teach and to share. Together, we are creating, you and I, a new collective mind for the human race. And when this new collective mind is universal in our world, everybody is tuned to it, then the old world has nothing to support it, and it just begins to vanish. It disappears. As individuals, we're learning how to raise our vibrational rates physically, and we have the wisdom and the power to dissolve old energies of fear and anger and ignorance. And we have the power to heal ourselves and others. Do you think it's any coincidence that we have the Shiva lingam here laying on our altar? We are all part of the Shiva light, to me, the love energy that comes to devour all of the negativity and to turn it into love. Okay? Well, when these energies are flowing, we have the power to see ourselves through new eyes. But I want to tell you what Dr. David Clements has as a scientific exploration of plasma. Now, he's a great mind. He has had a doctorate in mathematics and a doctorate in physics. He's been brilliant from the time he came into the world. But one day he opened up, and here were all these light beings coming through to help him understand and expand his knowledge of what the plasma is. And he says, Dr. David Clements, if you want to see him, you can call up free on YouTube Pam Gregory, and she has several interviews with him that are just wonderful. I had an unusual experience of watching that program one day, and I looked up at the TV, and it looked like he was looking right through my eyes. And he didn't blink, and I didn't blink, and then I've had enough. And I looked away. But anyway, he says that plasma is a living collective expression of aspects of itself. Everything in form embodies this intelligent, living collective energy. Plasma has self-organizing characteristics that warp and will give you what you're asking for. Plasmic energy fulfills every desire, good or bad. So the establishment of a new collective mind that humanity will be blessed with is very important, because ignorance can use this just as well, and it has resulted in the world that we live in today. We are consciously learning how to relate to these energies using our own loving heart awareness. Now, the last time I spoke, I told you about a vision I had with the children who were drowning down in Texas. And I saw them ascend, and I was warned not to go down into the sympathy or the empathetic body, because that wasn't what I was there for. I was there to watch. So I went up and I watched. I saw the children go into this new world that has already been formed. And when they did, it was so lovely, peaceful, and joyous. And they were amazed because they began to see parts of themselves they didn't even know they had. And they couldn't go back to their parents because the parents' grief would have trapped them back in the earth energy. So I want to talk a little bit about grief today. We are consciously learning how to relate to these energies using our heart awareness, and I had that vision, and now, it takes now energy to keep unhappy energies buried. That's a way of saying that if we are unhappy and we keep repeating all of these old mindsets that we've had, we aren't dissolving this stuff. We're just giving it more energy to manifest and just make us uncomfortable. But if we can say, oh, it's here, what does it mean to me? And listen, listen, because your hearts are open to hear, and you will hear. I don't know how you'll become aware of it, because we're all individualized expression of energy, but it will come. So it takes now energy to keep unhappy energies buried, which means that we're losing some of our power in that old collective mind stuff. You want more power? Clean it up. That's what Jesus did, you see. He walked in his consciousness was clean. He had no guilt. He just felt, and he listened, and he had the power to manifest and transform. Grief is a binding energy that can make us feel alone. When this binding energy is realized and released, it opens up our consciousness to new possibilities. It reminds me of the energies that were put forth when the Dalai Lama goes to these shack villages that have come from people who've lost their homes and lost their families and all of these things. I always wondered how that energy was affected. And now I know that when he goes there, he goes because he loves them, and he listens, and people come and flock to him. He doesn't have to say anything because he carries it in his energies. But if he does say something, it's always kind and loving. And it helps to release some of that negativity that's come from those past experiences, which were so terrible. And when that happens, the villagers say, can't go back there. I guess, what could I do to make my life better here? So they've started up small businesses. They exchange their energies with others, share what they have to eat. They are expanding their consciousness because it has been changed through a love element, which is powerful. Now, grief that binds has a lot of faces. It can be death, disease, divorce, drugs, job loss, losing your sweetheart, it can wear so many faces. I can't begin to describe how grief can come into your life and hang on, but it creates a sense of loneliness and longing. Now, I think humanity itself is grieving for its own true identity. It wants to experience again the loving energy of respect it knew in a long ago, far away time. It wants to dance with the loving, rhythmic exchange of energies. It remembers what it was to be appreciated and to be loved. Now, I want to tell you about Anderson Cooper's interview by Colbert. It was the middle of October. If you want to look it up sometime, you can get it, I'm sure. He is a reporter who had a lead chair on a program, news program, but he traveled around the world and he visited to get the stories that he could report and write back about. And so he would go into villages where the people were hungry or had lost their loved ones, but he didn't refuse to listen. He listened to what they had to say, and it was a now experience. And so over in Tibet, I lost, my child died, et cetera, explaining the grief that they have at that, and it's still functioning at that moment. And so he listens with soft eyes when he's seeing someone face to face. And now he has a program where people call in, and he says he listens with soft ears. And all of this is with a compassionate heart's energy willing to share. Okay? Colbert asked him, well, don't you get bored and say, oh, well, I don't have to listen to this, I already heard about it. But that's a protective way people have of avoiding listening to things that they might need. Now, one of the things that happened to Anderson Cooper was that his father died 40 years ago, and his brother committed suicide. And he just kept busy. He didn't take time to grieve. He said, well, that's that, I guess, somewhere. But he buried that energy inside his being. And when he started listening to people who were in need, he realized it was a now experience, but a wonderful thing happened inside himself. He began to have conversations with his father. His father came to visit. And he said, I can talk to my father every day, and I know him now better than I did when he was alive. And it brings me such joy. So through the helping to heal the wounds that are caused by grief in other people, it expands and makes a world beautiful for you. And I can tell you, when you start seeing the beautiful world that's out there, and the way you see it, it's just amazing. Because you see form, you see the beauty and form that comes together to make the shape. You're reading the auras, you're reading the energies, and it helps to expand your awareness. And that's why some people have said, you hear God laughing. Because it's a happy time. Well, the Bible says, where two or more of us are gathered, there is power. Well, there's sure more two of us today. And Pam Gregory, the enlightened astrologist, has millions of people around the world saying the following: we are welcoming in an expanded consciousness of love. And if you'd like to say that, repeat after me. We are welcoming an expanded consciousness of love. Now, feel it. Feels good. All right, our plastic body is a living, intelligent field that is part of everything in form. Everything in form is expanding its conscious awareness, and if you pick up a piece of rubbish on the ground and put it in a trash can, the earth says, thank you. That's how sensitive everything is to this plasmic energy that we all embody. We communicate with everything in form, here on earth and anywhere in space and time. Now, the earth is being bombarded by high vibration frequencies, and I don't know whether you've had what I have, but it takes our physical bodies a while to absorb it all. So some days we have more energy than we know what to do with, and we might sleep 2 or 3 hours, and some days we sleep all day. No guilt, you're assimilating, you're changing. And a big change in consciousness, another big change in consciousness is coming. And I don't know how you personally will experience it, but we will all experience new dimensions of reality. Now I want to tell you a joke. A flock of birds flying south for the winter. There's a penguin leading the flight, and one bird says to the other, "Did we just eat in a mushroom patch?" The other bird says, "Oh, don't freak out. You didn't eat mushrooms. You're moving into a broader awareness of yourself." You can control the dance by intent and focus. So you can say to yourself, I am a heart-centered living intelligence that embodies compassion and has free will. I can use my free will to create with a compassionate heart and give myself permission to evolve. So if you're willing to accept your evolution, that's great. We are somebody, and we are consciously changing a dysfunctional world of greed and war into a loving and happy place to live. We are about political change with love. We fight for what is honest and fair for society. We make political change through love, not hate. We know we cannot fight with hate in our hearts, but we still stand on our principles. Well, it's easy to do, change things now. It's just do what you love to do. You see, this energy, it responds to every now. So if you want to go into politics, paint, cook, invest, play with kids, work on cars, work puzzles, heal, channel messages, do it. Walk in the sunshine. Read something that will make you laugh. The new earth enjoys with you, and the plasmic energy helps to heal everything. Happy energy is good energy. And personally, I like to laugh. I watched a Benny Hill program the other night. He was active in the Monty Python time, in case somebody here doesn't know. And he's funny and a little naughty. But, but in one of his skits, he's a movie director shooting 2 scenes for the movie. The first scene, a man and a woman, this was at Halloween for me, but I watched it at Halloween time. First thing, a man and a woman driving down a dark country road at night, and the woman says in the scene, "What is that down the road? A head?" And he says, "Cut, cut, cut. No, you're supposed to say it this way. What is down the road ahead?" And the second scene, man and woman making love, and the man has her backed up against the wall, and it's all very passionate. And she has her back against the wall, and she says, "What is this thing called love?" And the director says, cut. The way you say your line is this: what is this thing called love? The heart love is also a wisdom center, and it's, oh, this is another sermon. My daughter, when she read this, said, my gosh, Mom, you've got 6 sermons, 5 or 6 sermons buried. You got to cut it all apart. So I did. I left a lot of stuff out. The heart love, the heart love is also the wisdom center and is connected to the subconscious body that is connected to the plasma and in space. Well, anyway, that's our connection to deeper. I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Plasmic energy is a collective expression of intelligences that work together to create form. And I'll remind you, we are love and peace and energy in form. Plants know it, trees know it, the earth knows it. We feel and move they feel and move and show their response to the love that we carry and the joy. We are walking healers of light and wisdom. And oh, thanks to each of you for coming today and sharing what was dumped on my doorstep and through me recently. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Each and every one, thank you.